Hello everybody, Spud Cubs here with the From the Depths release trailer 2019. Yeah, I'm doing it. I'm gonna pick it apart. I'm going to pick this apart like a lemon pepper chicken. It's gonna be delicious. Now, I've watched this trailer a few times myself. It's been out for a week. If you haven't watched it, go watch it. But I want to point out that it came out the same day as the Kerbal Space Program 2 announcement trailer, the Doom Eternal Hunter reveal trailer, and a few other things in gaming news. Is there something happening in the gaming world, or am I missing something? Can somebody explain this to me? Are they all just part of the same advertising company? Anyway, I've been asked to tear the heck out of this trailer, so I'm gonna tear the heck out of this trailer. Now, just criticisms for the sake of the goodness of this trailer and for From the Depths, because they did post this on the official YouTube channel for From the Depths. I'm obliged to just criticize everything about it, naturally. So, from the get-go, we have not started the video yet. This is the first frame of the video. The From the Depths release trailer title is not capitalized. Right. Holding back tears. Tears of sadness. Alright, let's get into it. Build. It's not showing me building, it's just showing me oh, command, just different shot completely. Alright, cool shot though. Destroy. Destroying what? There's no payoff for this shot, nothing got destroyed, and then just From the Depths. It's just music synced. Alright. If I want peace, what? What do I have to do, my lord? Prepare for war. I shall. Okay. I designed my fleet. Okay, it's a lot of instructions to take in. That's not designing. That seems to be what you said building was. Oh, and arm it? What am I arming? A square? A Ritz cracker? Okay, I'm gonna stop there because it seems we've passed an era of the video. It seems to be in segments like an insect, and we will take it apart as if it were. Alright, so right off the bat, we have build, and we see that we have this nice little build block by block section. However, there's no repair tentacles involved. It's just a ship being built in the middle of water, block by block. Now, it'd be cool and all, except 30 seconds in, you have this being done again, multiple times, and the problem here is you could just be showing a different feature of the game to make a more efficient video, just show more of the features, like actually building something, like building a block from scratch, and then the payoff for that shot would be the next shot over, which would be command, where maybe you spawn a lot of them, and then you have a small fleet of the thing you just built in the previous shot. Right, this is a great shot, by the way. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful shot. Amazing. It's just my only gripe is the airplanes are not in the view, and none of the shots last for more than like 3 frames in this video, so you can't really appreciate most of it. There are 2 shots in this video that just really take the cake, this one included. And then we get to destroy, and like I want to say, there's no payoff for the shots because we're not destroying anything. It's just the cannon firing, and then it just cuts, and our suspense is completely destroyed by From the Depths. See, usually there's like a action, reaction, but it goes build, it's like a sigh. It's like the music sighing at us. But in between that beat, on the, the last 3/4 of this whole thing, you should have just reaction shot, you know? That last few frames, you should have just had something blowing up. And then in the explosion, it cuts to From the Depths, because it just feels weird. It gives me this weird, like, I don't want to watch this anymore feeling. Like, I want to get up. It's making me feel uneasy. I don't want to see this anymore. It's giving me movie anxiety. Or, I don't know. It seems to be a big thing in this video to me that not a lot of shots pay off at all, like this. It's either there's a payoff but no setup, or a setup and no payoff. And this feels like you could have panned in and then, or like started panned in, panned out while this thing's moving and then revealed this whole fleet. But before this whole fleet can even be revealed in the background, it cuts to these helicopters. And before we can soak in these helicopters, right, it fades to the next shot of the helicopter. And before we can soak in the background, because it's not zoomed out enough, the shot's not wide enough, before we can soak it in, and I didn't even notice this design in the corner. This is my like 6th time watching this. It just cuts. Design your fleet. This isn't designing though. I mean, we see the ship here, but one, we haven't seen a fleet yet. A collection of ships. So many people in From the Depths have posted them to the workshop, you could have used any of them. So many people have some great fleets on. Even the campaign fleets. You could have just shown a shot of that in like a wide shot of the fleet moving together in Fleet Move or something like that. Would have been great. Would have been cool. Just spawn it. Make it happen. But design our fleet. You haven't shown build mode yet. How do we design it? How do we even use the RTS? Like any of the game? Arm it. You're showing us this disembodied shot of these weapons, but aren't applied to the actual game. It's just weapon. And this is the first and only time we'll be seeing repair tentacles in the game. This is coming from a Rambot, but we're not seeing it from anything. It's just happening. It's a reaction without an action. It just feels weird. Now, I'm not going to keep watching all of this. I'm just going to show you, because you guys can watch this on your own. These shots feel very empty. I want to point out the action-reaction, the setup and payoff, because it's like, take to the skies. It's just the missiles. We aren't seeing the jets fighting. We aren't seeing the full battle out. We aren't seeing this in perspective. One, because the background in every one of these shots is just a blue sea that's completely empty. There's no ships in the background. It's just this tiny little space of combat in this little square. And there's no like mountains or anything in most of these shots. I know they're community submitted shots, but you could have made your own. You could have went out of your way to deliberately formulate this trailer. Doesn't seem like it was done so. Or maybe it just asked for multiple shots of the scene. This shot intrigues me because you're showing take to the skies and the seas. You didn't show us the boat at all. Maybe this was the same boat that was cut in half by the flex tip guy. But we're showing mimic torpedo launchers firing torpedoes at what seems to be an empty horizon of nothing. What? And then this lovely shot of a submarine. And right as you think you're gonna get some payoff with the music, right? Impact the Atlas. Explosion right here. Explosion right here before you cut to the Pegasus class, right? It just cuts. No payoff with these missiles, it just cuts. Right? And then dominate your enemies, but it's just showing the Pegasus. No destruction, nothing getting blown up. We haven't seen anything blown up in close except for that Moray, which didn't have a setup to it, so we can't see. I assume it would be the jet that blew it up, but it's like these shots just all feel unimportant because one, we either don't have the time to get attached to what is, I guess, the protagonist of the shot, really. Like, let's say this. It's either like this, we have a good setup because we're following this Gotha with jets on it, this, whatever this monstrosity is, right? We're following it. But like you'll see, there's no payoff because it doesn't do anything. In full-scale war, as you'll see, this shot actually is frustrating to see because it says full-scale war, and then we only have the view of the one Gotha in the camera view, which clips out of view sometimes. Like right here, we don't see the entire plane. We don't see anything behind it, and it's fighting sailboats in full-scale war, like 8 sailboats. What is full-scale war to you? To me, it's a lot more than this. You know, and then we get this nice shot of like 5 ships spawn like really chonky close to each other and a bunch of things blowing up, but we only see the ships for about 2 seconds. Here, I won't pause it so you can see how fast it really is. Done. We don't see the ships anymore. And then what? We're looking at ocean. Zoom out, take the camera and physically move it away from the shot so we see what's going on. Like, if you've played campaign, it's pretty easy to get a shot of things blowing up from afar. It just seems like you spawned a bunch of stuff into Designer and called it a day, is what it feels like. This is what it looks like. This is cool, but we have so many awesome things in From the Depths, why didn't you put more of them in? You could have kept flashing it in there. On that note, every shot in this video lasts for about the same amount of time. There isn't any shot variation. And you, oh, hello light, don't move like that. You could have varied the shots and kind of stacked a few on here like that with the music, because it's getting a little more energetic, and shown us like a couple shots of like this monster or a fire-breathing dragon. We have multiple of them in the From the Depths Steam Workshop, or a floating island, or like a full replica battleship, something amazing like that. Oh, didn't mean to do that. I meant to like pause really quick and then, or unpause really quick and then pause. You see throughout this shot, this whole thing, we see these tanks, but we don't see anything else in scale with this vehicle. We don't see the ground, we don't see how far away it is, and we don't see this full-scale combat happening, because everything's so zoomed in and we only see this happening. We've only captured this much action, this much motion. We don't see these missiles traveling. It's weird. We come to the final bit of this video, and I don't mean to be a negative Nancy and rip this whole thing apart, but I just feel like it could be improved a little bit, because it feels like feature reel with an HD upgrade to it. If you remember the feature reel video, single player and multiplayer. Pong had single player and multiplayer, I believe. Pong. Yes, that Pong. That's something to brag about. Mods and World Editor. Okay, I'm just gonna let this play out for a bit, you'll see why. Mods and World Editor, sandbox, campaign, and missions, which is just describing the game. She didn't really show, you haven't shown any of this yet. You haven't shown what Rambot can do, you haven't shown the RPG part of the game with the skill menu, you haven't shown any menu of the game, actually. Haven't shown capturing a vehicle, or I don't mean to emphasize RTS combat so much, but commanding them on the map. You haven't shown what the campaign is like, what, I'm sorry, there's one thing I'm missing completely. Sandbox, oh, build mode. Yeah, build mode is such a crucial, important thing to the game, and it's what should have been the first shot of the game instead of the build block by block thing. Anyway, instead of telling us this, show us this. Anyway, I want to go back to single player and multiplayer, mods and world editor, this description of the game, Steam Workshop, right? You could have just said all of this was Steam Workshop integration, right? Mods and world editor and Steam Workshop integration. Show it to us, like how I'm saying with this description, show it to us. I don't care if you just tell us single player and multiplayer, every game has this. Why is that good? Why is it cool for your game? You haven't shown us the gameplay, it's just cool shots. You know, it doesn't put it into perspective. Mods and world editor, show us the kind of mods. Show us the world editor in action and then the product of it happening. Show us a clip of the world editor for 3 seconds after you tell us about mods and world editor, to give us some perspective on, oh, that's cool. That's what you can do in the world editor, instead of just telling us what it is, because there's no intrigue generated by the Steam Workshop. That's such an important thing. Two things that are super important in the shot. This battleship in the background, which hasn't been seen in the trailer yet. Any battleship, which is like the first thing any new builds, is a huge battleship. But Steam Workshop, you could have said all of this with Steam Workshop integration. This could have been like the biggest thing about the trailer. Build your own units from scratch. You know, build planets, build your own levels, campaigns, missions, play on leaderboards, or make your own whole planets and missions and everything with our map editor. And if you get bored with all of that, you can even mod the game yourself with a built-in modding system that makes it easy for you to learn and execute mods in the game, or even code your own vehicles with Lua, or make it through breadboard. And if you want to share with your friends of the world, just post it to Steam Workshop. That would be such a big attraction to the game, and it's such underhandedly passed aside as, oh, Steam Workshop. And that's it. Show us. This should be the very first shot. This build-up bit should be the very first shot, and then it should be music from then on out. Look, this makes me mad, actually, that this Brilliant Skies logo was placed afterwards. Not for the reasons you might think. I'm not trying to be, again, like a negative Nancy or anything. Negative nub cubs. But you'll see why. Just a little bit of video editing magic here without actually video editing. Just imagine this is going without me clicking on anything. But just look at the sequence I put this in. Look, I'm just going to put this first, right? I mean, obviously a little bit of sound editing, and then... I don't know, does that feel any better? And then just don't put the text after that point. After that point, just no text. No text. Just soak him in. Soak him in, brother. Oh yeah, put him in that video. Immerse yourself, brother. Anyway, this has been Spud Cubs covering the From the Depths release trailer 2019. If we get 4 more views on this trailer, we can get it over 7,000 views, which is the most important thing for a release trailer. The Kerbal Space Program 2 cinematic trailer, like I mentioned earlier, we can check on it right now, has 3 million views. I'm not trying to compare an extremely popular game to a not so popular game, but I'm just saying that's the most important thing in a trailer is just coverage and getting more people to watch it. So making it more watchable is kind of the main point. I'm just trying to help you guys out. I'm not trying to say you did a bad job, Mango. Beautiful job. It's a community-made trailer, but it needs to be less community-made and more like executively driven. There needs to be some command put behind this thing. There needs to be just less of a montage, I would say. But I want to show you guys really quick just a really simple thing, just the official Minecraft trailer currently. It's very, very simple. Very, very simple.
Place where everything is made of blocks.
You'll see it's a minute long.
Where the only limit.
No text on the screen.
Imagination.
Just a little bit of calm talking.
Let's go wherever you want to go.
And it's just showing the game.
The tallest mountains.
A lot of motion in the shots. Always something going on.
The darkest caves.
Beautifully done, though.
Anything you want.
I'm not trying to compare a lot of work, especially professional work, to otherwise. I'm just trying to show you guys how like simplicity can be trying to cram a whole bunch into something, you know?
Or take a ride on a roller coaster.
I always go by the thought process of less is more, and
your own little
you know, I like his skin, by the way. That Minecraft skin's nice. I just want to show you guys that the From the Depths release trailer and my thoughts on it. Anyway, what do you guys think? This has been Spud Cubs, just with another nice little video here. I'm gonna be a little more active, but tell me what you guys think in the comments. Share the video if you liked it, if you want to support my work. I have a Patreon now for some reason. I guess I'll start putting that in the description, although I don't really care too much about... I guess if you want to help me out, I'm a Patreon. Anyway, this has been Spud Cubs. Please have a little daily.